Expanding space is the emperor with no clothes, and the court applauds because that's what the court does. When the claim of expanding space is presented without even a hint of a mechanism, what remains is nothing but a proclamation that hopes no one asks any inconvenient questions. General relativity does not describe any concrete event happening to expanding space, because within the theory there is no concrete space for anything to happen to. Yet somehow we're encouraged to imagine a cosmic fabric stretching like a cheap rubber band. Space is not a structure, not a medium, not a fabric, not a field, not a substance. It isn't even anything you could point at it. It is a mathematical object, a metric, and when one says that space expands, it merely means that the numbers in this abstract table change, that's it. No cosmic fireworks, no stretching membrane, no physical drama. So if one asks what happens to space when its metric coordinate system grows, the answer from within relativity is as cold as a cosmic bureaucrat. There is no event. There is no event. The theory offers no mechanism, no process, no dynamics, not even a half-hearted attempt at an explanation. It simply declares that the scale factor changes, and this changes the expansion. Full stop, no justification, no cause, no story. The questions why or how are not part of the theory's vocabulary. They're treated like forbidden words, swept under the rug before anyone notices. If this sounds as if a physical explanation has been replaced with a mathematical trick, that's not a misunderstanding. That is exactly what happens. The change of geometry is elevated to a fundamental assumption with no mechanism whatsoever. The theory does not tell what makes the metric change. It doesn't even pretend to try. It simply states this is what happens because the field equations say so, as if that were some profound insight rather than a cosmological shrug. And when someone tries to dodge this by insisting that the mechanism is the dynamics of the field equations, that is not an explanation but a rephrased tautology. It's like saying it happens because the equation says it happens. Thank you for that deep revelation. The field equations define the behavior of the metric. They do not describe any physical process that caused it. This is why it is entirely justified to point out that when one asks what happens to space during expansion, general relativity cannot provide any concrete answer. Not because the question is bad, but because the theory contains no event to describe. There is only a change in metric, and if someone wants to call that expansion, that is a terminological decoration, not a physical mechanism. Savorin and Juka, the dude, the one, the man who figured out how universe really works.